Welcome. BBISHOPPCM.
BBISHOPPCM to
BBISHOPPCM.
What is the molecular master plan in the field of genetics? I'm going to say DNA. I was right. I won 3,000 points. The more familiar name of the Himalayas Yeti is Abominable Snowman. Awesome! I now have 10,700 points. You know, this game is quite terrible. It's no surprise to me that the company who made this game, Grayhound Electronics, went out of business. What disease is actually cancer of the blood? The answer is leukemia. The machine itself is pretty well built. I mean, it's almost overbuilt for the game that's actually in it. It almost seems like it was designed for another purpose, or possibly could be fitted with a different game that could potentially make it a more profitable machine. Which sex has the shorter human vocal cords? I believe it is both the same. It is incorrect. It is actually going to be the female, I believe. Oh well. But, I mean, honestly, the research that I've done on the company and the products that they produced has been pretty interesting. Which teeth do you have the most of? The answer is incisors. No, it's... Damn it. I mean, honestly, it's not a game that I would buy as a machine operator, as an arcade operator, or as a root owner, is what I should say. I mean, it really doesn't look like it will bring in much cash. You know, it's not really a big money maker. And according to the arcade registry, there is only one of these in existence outside of mine as a complete working unit. What's basically happening are people are finding these machines and repurposing the cabinets for main units, or possibly fitting other games that are more popular into the cabinets, which are probably in worse condition. I'm getting kind of thirsty. I'm parched. You know, it's been a long day. A lot of research, a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna crack open a nice Moxie. Enjoy it this evening. I love this stuff. It's so good. It has a root beer-like flavor, but it's much more earthy, and it's a very local drink. The stuff is originated actually in Maine, and I started drinking it again after reading the novel by Stephen King, 11/23/63, and no, 11/22/63. That's the novel. And he makes many references to Moxie. And I'm not actually paid to endorse this product, but it's damn good. If you find it in your area, definitely try it. It's about as local as Verner's is to Michigan, and it has an equally unusual taste. One of those tastes that you kind of have to get used to. It's definitely an acquired taste. So, let's talk about Greyhound, shall we? Okay, what I've done here is I've prepared a few printouts of actual advertisements for the Greyhound arcade machines, which were few and far between. Greyhound started out in the late 1970s manufacturing video poker machines. And there was a loophole that made these machines legal. And I believe it's still in effect to this very day in most areas, or most states. And that is, you can play the machines to your heart's content. You can actually make people pay to play these games, but you cannot deliver a prize if they win. So Greyhound started up a nice little lucrative business manufacturing and distributing these machines. As far as, I believe, as far back as 1978, possibly 79. Now, during the arcade boom of the 1980s, Greyhound started producing machines like this video trivia cocktail table that you see in front of me. They also made several other versions of this machine. I'm going to show you an ad right now, which is actually, I'm going to just put it up in the video. But here it is. This shows the two other versions of this exact machine. There's a cabaret-style cabinet and a... and pay close attention to the countertop unit, because that is actually the chassis or the housing that they were using for their legal video poker machines. Now, here is an advertisement for the actual poker machines that they were distributing. And these, again, they are perfectly legal as long as they do not distribute or pay out cash prizes. You cannot, absolutely cannot do that. That is called gambling, and unless you're in Las Vegas, that is completely against the law. Well, knowing this, that didn't stop Greyhound. In about 1985, Greyhound managed to hook up a deal where they would eventually profit substantially from. Whenever someone comes up to you and says, "I have a deal you cannot refuse," you have two choices. You can refuse the deal, but you'll probably wind up getting killed. You can go along with the deal, but the consequences could be quite drastic. This part is not clear to me, but Carmen Richie, the owner and CEO and co-founder, maybe even the founder of Greyhound Electronics, at some point in his life got involved in the Mafia. Dun, dun, dun. He managed to get himself pretty much knee-deep in the Mafia, and it was directly related to his vending company and his actual manufacturing company. You see, in the 1980s, to fuel their steady need for brand new black Lincolns, the Mafia needed ways to keep the money rolling in. And they did that through a variety of illegal measures. And one of those measures being the illegal underground video poker business. But they need suppliers. The Mafia doesn't manufacture anything. They acquire things from other people and other companies, generally in legal ways. So they managed to purchase a controlling interest in the Greyhound Electronics empire, and Carmen Richie was the man driving the bus. It was his company after all. Now, Carmen Richie didn't act alone. He actually worked with a close personal associate of his brother-in-law. I had the name name on the tip of my tongue here. Brian Pataccio was his brother-in-law. Brian Pataccio and good old Carmen Richie. Building games, selling games, owning vending routes. In the mob. The Mafia. The same Mafia that was epitomized in the Godfather series. This actual machine was manufactured by the Mafia. Because after all, when the Mafia owns a company, well, or a controlling stake in a company, you're actually dealing directly with the mob. Through a series of companies, I mean, you're insulated a little bit. It's not like the person who purchased this machine was in the mob or, or had anything to do with it. In order to make this work, these companies have to have legal and illegal sides. Basically, business up front, party in the back. They have to be the mullet of their industry. Yes. So, see what I just did there? Yeah, made fun of the mullet haircut. Yeah, stupid. Anyway, Moxie. It's great. Try it. I found this article online. I don't recall what the newspaper was. I should probably look at that, but I'm going to read you the entire article and I'm going to let you judge it. It sounds like something straight out of a 1980s Mafia movie script. It would make a great plot for a movie. So, here goes. The article was dated on Friday, March 8th of 1991. Title: Scarfo, 37 others indicted. State alleges racketeering. In this article features our two friends, Carmen Richie and Brian Pataccio. So here we are. Trenton, New Jersey. Where else? Jailed crime boss Nicodemo Little Nicky Scarfo was charged with running his crime family from federal prison, and 37 alleged mobsters were charged in a state racketeering conspiracy indictment handed up Thursday. State Attorney General Robert Del Tufo said that 7 top-ranking members of the Bruno Scarfo family were among those indicted, including Scarfo's son, Nicodemo Scarfo Jr. Also indicted was John Ricci, the reputed head of New Jersey's only homegrown crime family, the DeCavalcante family, Del Tufo said. The indictment stemmed from a state police sweep in August, dubbed Operation Broadsword. Police arrested alleged mob figures from 6 separate crime families, saying the sweep could wipe out the remains of Scarfo's northern New Jersey organization. The state's case rests largely on about 380 conversations secretly taped by mob informant George Fresalone. Fresalone is said to have taped his own initiation into the Scarfo family. What this information does is show the interrelationship of 6 crime families in 3 states, said Colonel Justin Dentino, head of the state police. How they cooperated and worked together and used such means as murder, physical violence, threats, and extortion to carry out the illegal activities of La Cosa Nostra. Scarfo Sr. and Ricci were charged with being leaders of organized crime, among other charges. Joseph Scoops, I love these names, Licata, Anthony Tony Buck, Piccolo, alleged members of the Scarfo family, were also charged with leading organized crime. The indictments allege that Scarfo, while imprisoned at the federal penitentiary in Marion, Illinois, maintained control of the family's operations between January of 1987 and August 1990, through messages relayed by his son, Scarfo Jr. Scarfo Sr. is already serving 3 long prison terms, 55 years for a federal racketeering conviction, a life sentence for the murder of Frankie Flowers, Alfonso, and a 14-year sentence for trying to extort $1 million from a Philadelphia developer. Scarfo made Piccolo acting boss of the family and Licata acting captain of the family's northern territory, according to the indictments. In other indictments, Carmen Richie, the owner and chief executive officer of an Ocean County electronics firm, Grayhound Electronics, as well as Scarfo Jr. and Licata, executives in the firm, were charged with running a criminal operation and distributing illegal video gambling machines. The machines, which can be switched between illegal gambling and legitimate amusements by remote control, were distributed throughout southern New Jersey, Michigan, New York, and California, the indictments state. The Civil Remedies and Forfeiture Bureau filed a forfeiture against Greyhound in November. The move is the first time in the state that a forfeiture has been filed against a publicly traded corporation, said Robert T. Winter, Director of the Division of Criminal Justice. That's right, folks. Moxie. The 38 defendants named were alleged members of the Scarfo... Did I miss something? I had a Moxie brain freeze. Yes. The 38 defendants named were alleged members of the Scarfo, Genovese, Gambino, Colombo, De Cavalcante, and Lucchese families, according to the indictments. In other indictments, the alleged hierarchy of Scarfo's northern regime, Piccolo, Licata, Scarfo Jr., Anthony, the Slicker, Atancio, Vincent Beeps Santorino, Nicholas Turk Cifelli, Nicholas Nicky O. Oliveri, and John Prano, what, no nickname for John? What the hell? Were named in a 20-count racketeering conspiracy indictment. Ricci, identified as the boss of the De Cavalcante family, was also an associate of the Scarfo family, involved in extortion and labor racketeering, according to the indictments. In 18 separate but related indictments against the defendants, charges include racketeering conspiracy, leader of organized crime, theft by extortion, commercial bribery, criminal usury, business of criminal usury, drug offenses, gambling, bookmaking, loan sharking, the manufacture and distribution of illegal video gaming machines, and official misconduct by a corporate official. Also indicted was a member of the Newark Zoning Board of Adjustments for allegedly accepting payoffs from the owner of a waste hauling business. Wow. Wow. Now, it's no wonder that these machines did not find their ways into Chuck E. Cheese or Fun World or any other amusement facility targeted towards children. No wonder. Of course, with questions like this, when a woman is deflowered, she is no longer, let's see, a virgin? Or questions like this. Touching a man lightly while speaking to him does what to him? Unnerves and excites him. Or what about questions like this? Who is the goddess of love and beauty? I believe it's Venus. I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, definitely not Chuck E. Cheese material. Inserting a big toe into the anus is an English game called Bugger Your Toe or Backdoor. No, I don't know what that is. Wow. Wow. 2 more questions. Over half the babies were born in Washington, D.C. in 1983 were illegitimate, blind, or knew their rights. I'm going to say illegitimate. I was right. Oh my god. That was a trivia question? Ha! Someone who engages in sexual acts with dead bodies is called a necrophiliac, sicko, or androphobic. Androphobic. It is necrophiliac, I believe. I believe we're done. Where was I? Alright, yeah, let's get back to business. Alrighty then. What we have here is an obituary for the man of the hour, Carmen Richie. I'll read that to you as well. This is from the Vending Times, issue date, volume 52, number 8, August 2012. Carmen Richie, mogul of Greyhound Electronics, dies. Lenoka Harbor, New Jersey. Manufacturing and operating kingpin Carmen J. Richie died at his home here on July 21st. He was 73. Best known to the industry as president of Greyhound Electronics, in Toms River, New Jersey, which he co-owned with his son-in-law, Brian Pataccio. Richie was also the owner of Sonny's and Ricky's Arcade, Seaside Heights, on the Jersey Boardwalk. According to New Jersey government records, his wife, Nixa, also owned a large route in Florida, that being a vending route. A colorful and controversial figure, Richie was deeply involved in manufacturing and operating gray area games in the Midwest and up and down the eastern seaboard, according to the government sources. Greyhound also produced and sold conventional redemption and merchandising equipment and marketed it nationwide. Born in Philadelphia, Richie lived most of his life in Seaside Park before moving here with his wife in 1994. He was predeceased by his brothers, Angelo and Thomas Richie. He is survived by his daughters, Michelle Rendon, Lisa Richie, Teresa Pataccio, Colleen Rosenblum, and Nixa Risk. His son, Samuel Della Sala III, and several grandchildren. So the man is gone. But legacy lives on. So, let's talk a little bit about the technical aspects of Greyhound machines and why it is so easy for these to be converted into illegal gambling machines. So if you saw my repair videos, you would have seen the logic board that goes into a machine of this design and just how easy it is to swap out the game or change the entire purpose of the machine, if you will. So what I have here is an exact duplicate of what is inside this machine. This is a typical Greyhound motherboard with the satellite board. This was one of the selling features of Greyhound's machines. What it essentially means is that any Greyhound trivia machine can be converted by swapping out this one board to, say, a video poker machine or a video graphics display. They were building products that actually served the same purpose as those electronic bulletin boards that you see in shopping malls, or when you go to the airport, those giant illuminated signs that show flight times. Greyhound actually manufactured a very similar product to that, only on a smaller scale, which can be clearly seen in one of these ads, which is not here. I don't know where the hell it is, but I'll put it up on screen for you right now. Okay, so now that you see what the machine looks like, you get the idea. It was basically a digital message board, and it would have contained a board much like this one, with a satellite board that contained the necessary ROM chips to make it a message board. Same goes with the horse track racing game that they made. Again, same motherboard with, we'll call it a satellite card, or a daughter board, containing a series of ROM chips necessary for the game. Now, this was a real story that I read, and I, once again, cannot think of the source. If I find it, I'll put it at the end of the video. But one of the how the illegal parlors worked is that they would have a legitimate business. For instance, a candy store in one of these cases. They had a legitimate candy store, that was open until 1 in the morning, right? 1 in the morning. So basically, people would come there during the day to buy candy, and after hours, or if they said the magic words, they could be escorted into the back room of Bliss, which would contain several video poker machines, some of them perhaps even Greyhound machines, and at the flick of a switch, those machines can be converted from gambling machines to video trivia machines. So the police can show up, and at the flick of a switch, the operator can convert all the machines to trivia machines. And then the police officers would be scratching their heads saying, well, why are these people paying all this money to play trivia? And the operator would say, well, I don't know, I'm just running a business. You know, that's essentially how it worked. Now, I don't know what they were using to remotely disable the gambling portion of the game, or if they were even doing it that way legitimately. But I do know that in some cases, if the operator was present during a bust, or they knew a bust was coming, remember, the mob knows everything. They're tied in with the police. That's how they've been able to survive so long. If a crooked police officer happens to, I don't know, hear of a potential bust at, we'll call it Nicodemo's candy store at, 10 o'clock at night on May 3rd, for instance, he could then alert the necessary, personnel or associates, and they can then convert all of their machines into trivia machines or into some other legal operation just by swapping out these boards. This was a big deal back then. A lot of games had the game and the controlling circuitry on one board. So to convert a machine like that, you would have to disconnect wires and change pinouts and perhaps even swap out components outside of the electronic circuitry. And that would be time consuming. But with Greyhound's design, all you had to do was either pop out some chips or just swap out the entire board and you're done, son. So that's how they did it. And the company was actually acquired entirely by the federal government. I believe they actually they confiscated all of the assets of Greyhound Electronics, which is why they no longer exist. The key personnel have been imprisoned. Not entirely sure if I didn't get the date that Carmen Richie was released, or if he was at all. He may have died in prison, I don't know. Or his brother-in-law, or how deeply involved they were towards the end. So, that's all public information. I'm not, searching anything that might be, from an illegitimate source. So, there we go. Still a pretty cool machine. It is a terrible game, but when it's hooked up with a video poker satellite board and you've got two players going at the same time, there's some very interesting times to be had by all. So as I said before, these video poker machines are legal to own and use as long as they're not paying out actual cash prizes, which is why they still make them today. And to turn them into revenue-generating machines, it's often as simple as hitting a dip switch or reprogramming an EEPROM. I know that some of the more modern machines are more than likely built so that they cannot pay out prizes, or they're strictly regulated at the manufacturing level. But as we all know, anything electronic can be hacked to do whatever you want. Look at the struggles with Apple versus their customers. I can't believe they're fighting that battle. They're fighting their own damn customers. For what, But anything can be hacked, and anything can be modified. I actually knew the guy. He was he lived near my parents. Didn't really know the guy personally, but my sister knew his daughter, and he was nailed for running an illegal video poker ring in town. Not too long ago, actually. He's out of jail now, and it was done in a veterans organization. They were using the back room. They had all these illegal video gambling machines set up, and people would come in, gamble their life savings away, you know, and lose mostly. But he was caught, put in jail, machines were confiscated, end of story. But it could have been much worse. You know, he could have been killed. You know, when you're taking people's money, there's always a chance that they could find you and, you know, do some damage. You know, so it's a really risky business to be in to begin with. Not only is it risky legally, but it's risky in a variety of other ways. What member of Rat Patrol was an Englishman? The hell if I know. Private Mark Pettigrew. That sounds British. And it's also incorrect. What's next? Who was the first screen Tarzan? Oh God, I don't know. Johnny Weissmuller, Buster Crabbe, or Elmo Lincoln? Buster Crabbe. Who played the lead role in W.C. Fields and Me? Buddy Hackett. Ah. Neville Brand or Rod Steiger were the other options, but they were not the right. Damn it. Elizabeth Taylor replaced what actress in the movie Elephant Walk? Vivian Leigh, Joanne Woodward, or Ingrid Bergman? Eeny, meeny, miny... No. Who was the star pitcher in the series The Bad News Bears? Amanda Wurlitzer, spelt with W-H-I-R-L. Okay. Shelley Witt or Maggie McLeod? Wrong. Maggie McLeod was not the right answer. I don't know any of these. How am I expected to know this? What is tattooed on Glenn Campbell's arm? A dagger, a guitar, or a mother? Mother. Wrong again. Probably a dagger. I don't know. I don't even. Glenn Campbell is country, right? Probably a dagger or a can of beer. I don't know. All right, I'm playing another game. Let's see here. Let's try entertainment. Category 5. Who was the mayor on Fibber McGee and Molly? Actually, I actually listened to that radio show on XM a lot. Mayor Latrivia, Mayor Brown, or Mayor McGee? I believe it was Mayor Brown. Damn it. I've never heard of the mayor. I'm not that into the show. Who played Jim Bronson in the series Then Came Bronson? Charles Bronson, Michael Parks, or William Boyd? Charles Bronson? I couldn't get that right either. You know, a lot of these trivia questions, all of them in fact, were written prior to 1985. I was born in 1984, so yeah. In the series The Big Valley, what was Victoria Barkley's horse's name? Seriously? Vicky, Mystery Gal, or Major? I picked Major and I got it wrong. I haven't gotten a single question right, even accidentally. What does that tell you? I'm an idiot. Zebra 3 was the codename of whose squad car? Adam 12, Starsky and Hutch, or Car 54? Where are you? I picked Car 54, Where are you? And I got it wrong. God. Alright. In 1942, who was nominated for Best Actress for the movie Woman of the Year? Let's see. Katharine Hepburn, Audrey Hepburn, or Jane Seymour? I picked Katharine Hepburn. And got it right. By accident. Okay, what's next? Lee J. Cobb played what character in the film On the Waterfront? I'm going all in. I picked Father Polanski. Great. One more. You guys can stop the video now. I'm just going to play trivia. Because if you want to watch, feel free. I don't care. Let's go for sports. Another subject I know absolutely nothing about. Okay. Who was the only Major League pitcher to throw 2 consecutive no-hitters? Johnny Vandermeer, Nolan Ryan, or Bob Feller? Johnny Vandermeer, maybe? Very good. I got it right. By accident. Stanislaus Keitel was known as, but there's no question. Oh, wait. Stanley Ketchel. Hey, that was accidental. I didn't really know the answer. It could have been a trick question or a trick answer. All right. Who was the heavyweight champ after Joe Louis? Joe Walcott, Ezzard Charles, or Rocky Marciano? I picked Rocky and I got it wrong and lost all my points. This is why you don't wager everything you have. You know, you just don't do that. What player holds the single season record for total bases? Well, Rogers, Hornsby, Babe Ruth, or Joe DiMaggio? Rogers, Hornsby. No. Again, subjects I know nothing about. Sports. How long is the longest legal baseball bat? I'm going to go out on a limb and say 42 inches. Okay, alright, I guess I know something. But that was a guess. Not, like, legitimate. Didn't really know the answer. Just sort of wung it. The Embraceable U's cheer for what NFL team? Detroit Lions. No. Well, a U is like an animal. Shaped like a U. So it's like a camel, or the back is like this, and it looks like a U with legs. No? You're not buying that? Alright. Screw you too. Okay. Let's try science. How many sides does a snowflake really have? 10. No? Wait. Well, how can no 2 snowflakes are alike? I would say 2 sides, but how many L's are there in the word parallel? 3. Because, well, first of all, they wrote parallel on the screen, so you'd have to be an idiot to get that one wrong. I mean, really? The chemical formula for water is H2O. Oh, these are easy. Why does dirty snow melt faster than fresh white snow? White snow is prettier, dirty snow is ugly, and darker absorbs more heat. We know the answer is 3. Darker absorbs more heat. But from what I'm finding is that the exact opposite is true. Because it seems like in some instances, the snow is being insulated by the layer of dirt covering it. At what age does an infant shed tears? At birth. At 1 month old. You didn't get that right. Of course, I turned off the option to have it show me what the correct answers are, because I think that's cheating. If you are myopic, you are nearsighted. I have won 900 points. Okay, you're strictly on your own time now if you want to keep watching. I'm going to do one more game, just because I got that kind of time. Right? Yeah, I do. Alright, let's do another science round. What planet is known as the morning or evening star? I do not know the answer to that, so I'm only going to wager 600 points. I'm going to say it's Mercury. Venus. I said Mercury because I wasn't sure. Could have been Venus, or it could have been Mercury. The man Rorschach invented, oh I know that, the Rorschach inkblot test. Okay. Which of the following is eaten by the most people in the world? Wheat, rice, or potatoes? Rice. I got it right. Of course I did. I know everything. I've set the game for 6 questions per round. Just so you know. The alloy bronze is formed from what? It is copper and iron, copper and silver, or copper and tin. It is copper and tin. Next question, please. In the zodiac, what are the transitional periods called? I don't really know the answer to that. I'm going to play 500 points. Cusps. Oh, damn, I knew the answer. Oh, well. Okay, fine. Be that way. Alright. The fear of strangers or foreigners is called agoraphobia. No, it is xenophobia. Xenophobia being the Latin word for strange. Yes. Yes, I actually know a few things. So, I have earned enough points to get a bonus question. What is the most popular dog in the U.S. as a pet? The answer is Poodle. German Shepherd and Beagle were the 2 other options. Okay, one more bonus question. What is the highest lake in the world? Lake Titicaca, Crater Lake, or Manitou Lake? I don't know the answer. I lost. I didn't hit the button in time. But I did win 527,500 points, earning me on the lowest point of the high score table. I don't know why I bothered putting my name in, because it doesn't save the information, but I'm putting it in anyway, because it's my damn machine. And if I never unplug it, that score will remain the same forever and ever, as long as it's powered up. God bless America.